Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live, and in a very important conversation this evening, we are going to be joined by David Chabalala, who is the Director of the Office of the Rights of the Child at the Department of Social Development. Now, he's going to be talking to us and enlightening us on the biannual Africa Children's Summit that is taking place from the 4th to the 7th of April in Johannesburg. Now, Mr. Chabalala will be talking to us more about the summit and as well as the crucial role that it plays in amplifying children's voices. Now, this comes off just as we are seeing a lot of problems in South Africa when it comes to the safety of our children. It's coming across as, the very, very important time that we now have to amplify children's voices and particularly talk about the importance of maintaining children's safety in South Africa, reeling from the shock of the spate of sexual violence cases against minor children that are in South Africa. This summit is going to be such an important space to highlight these critical issues. It is also going to be in partnership with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, as well as some partner schools. And the summit is going to be a gathering that is basically aimed at amplifying as well as championing child participation in shaping the future of the children as well as the country. Good evening, Mr. Chabalala. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Good evening. Let me double check if I'm audible now. My apologies. I've been struggling here.
Not
Can
a
you hear me now?
Yes, not a problem at all. We can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live. I think we're really excited to kickstart our conversation about the summit. But to kick off our conversation this evening, can you tell us more about the details and information about the African Children's Summit? And if you can tell us a bit more about the format, what are some of the speakers we can look forward to, as well as some of the important topics and conversations that will be discussed at the summit?
Very much. I think I need to also apologize that we had a glitch at the beginning. But let me just give a preamble to this summit. Actually, as a country, we have ratified what we call the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child and the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. And we are very proud to be part of those, platforms. We have gotten into a point where the Africa Children's Summit was prompted in 2023. The inaugural summit was in Nairobi, Kenya, and our partners that we are working with in the country, that is the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, they have bidded to host the second summit in this case, meaning this is the second summit ever since the program was started in Nairobi. So we are very excited that from the 4th to the 7th, on the 4th, children are arriving. We have gotten 33 countries in the continent that has confirmed. We will be having 300 children, inclusive of children from South Africa. And they will be gathering in Joburg, Gauteng, area called Parktown. There are 2 schools that are going to be used there. They are going to be sleeping over there. So we are excited, and actually, I must emphasize the fact that because we are the country that is also modeling child participation, and we are seeing this, that we are modeling child participation internationally and continentally, by virtue of us having an obligation to report on progress made in the implementation of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child and the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. The committees thereof give us recommendation or observations after we've presented our reports to say improve here, do this here. So child participation is one of those areas that they've acknowledged that we are doing very well, but we need to strengthen it because we've got a platform that is named after our first democratically elected president, the late Utata Mandela. So it sits biannually, and we're looking forward that with regard to this Africa Children's Summit, it's really going to help us learn from other countries, and they also will learn from us as a country. So we are very excited, and really we are going to be beginning to, up the game in terms of ensuring that the voices of children are really acknowledged in policy making and other processes that affects children.
I really love the idea of engaging young people and giving children a voice and giving them a platform to have a say as to what happens in the future of their countries. because they are inevitably they are inheriting the country from us. They're inheriting it for the future generations, and for them to have a say in what happens in their own country is so vitally important. And what an amazing opportunity to bring African voices from all over the continent for a wonderful summit like this. Are you able to talk to us about some of the key issues that will be discussed at the summit? I know you mentioned something about child welfare and the importance of ensuring that. I mean, we're coming off the bandwagon of having a lot of issues when it comes to child welfare in South Africa. We're seeing a lot of cases of sexual harassment against children in schools in South Africa. Are these some of the topics that are going to be discussed in the summit as well?
No, indeed. Actually, there's been recognition that by virtue of us having left out the children in whatever inclusive of societal challenges that we are facing, we've been making a mistake. And of course, we are not just, you know, camouflaging here. It's an obligation, legally so. Yes, we will be having these children talking among themselves. I think I need to also indicate that this is a child-led summit. It's like the program directing and the planning, the facilitation is going to be done by the children. So among other critical issues, you will reckon that in South Africa, we're one of the countries that are very overwhelmed, and regrettably so, by the scourge of violence against children. I mean, there are many cases I can quote every now and then, every day in, day out. We are having a challenge of, our children being, exposed to violence against them. And of course, education is going to be very key. There are many issues that affect our children in the schooling environment, inclusive of, children with disabilities. I think we are saying we need an inclusive, education system. But if you look at it practically, I mean, children with disabilities, I'm giving that as an example. And the other thing that I normally mention, which is close to my heart, is that of our children. I mean, we are saying they are our future leaders, but if we are not careful in this country, we are normalizing the abnormals. One of those areas where we normalize the abnormals, we are leaving our children to be exposed to, to be drug addicts or to be exposed to drugs. That is for me, I'm very, very, very passionate about it, and then I'm worried about it. They will also be talking about climate change. We don't have any option. We are facing this challenge that we have never seen in our lifetime. And more importantly, is just to heighten, if you look at the theme for this summit, they are saying they need to be heard, they need to be seen. And that in itself, we are heightening or we're amplifying child participation. It's about time that children must make voices heard on issues affecting them. So that will be some kind of the summary of or the objectives of this summit.
I love to hear, the diversity in the kinds of conversations and discussion that will be taking place at the summit. And I think they are such important ones at that. And I think what you said there is so powerful is that children need to be their own voices for the issues that directly face them. And what I've learned about young people, especially young voices, is they have such wonderful solutions and ideas when it comes to tackling these problems that face them. And what a wonderful opportunity for them to have this incredible platform and plan it for themselves, program direct it, and have children speaking at this event. I think it's absolutely incredible. But what I also want to talk about is, of course, there might be a lot of parents out there who are watching us right now and who are looking at this as a wonderful opportunity for their children to become active citizens, whether they are in South Africa or in other parts of the African continent. How can parents get their children involved with the summit or the upcoming summits in the next years to come? And how do we apply? Tell us all the information.
No, thank you very much for that question, even though I'm not the relevant person because this has to do with some technologies. But I know for a fact that we've got a platform, it's a link. And if you allow us, we can share with you so that you help us to spread it around. This time around, we'll be having 1,000, we are targeting 1,000 children that are going to be, participating online. And I can quickly or, in no time before the summit, share the link. Those that who wants to register for participation in the link will be welcome to do that. So yeah, moving forward, I think we're going to increase the participation online. This year we're having 1,000 participating, and of course, as we move forward, we'll increase. And Definitely, I think because it's a continental thing. You know, when the inaugural summit in Nairobi in 2023 was not that massive like we are hosting. I think it was fewer countries that participated, fewer than, I mean, like we are hosting 33 countries around the continent.
Wow, that's wonderful to see how the summit has been able to grow over the years. And thank you for sharing that information that it is available for children to participate online and to engage other children in part of the African continent. I think it's such a wonderful networking opportunity for young people as well. But now, when it comes to the future of the summit, where do you see the summit growing? What can we expect for future summits, if there is anything that you could share with us?
No, thanks very much once again for that question. I think this is the intention is to maximize, child participation. Like we've said, the voices of children are very important. Uh, we're looking forward to a continental forum where all the 50 something countries in South Africa are participating. And if needs be, we can influence other continents in the globe to do likewise. So the intention is to make sure that we maximize the voice of children in all the regions of Africa, and of course going beyond the continent to go to other continents, because like I've said earlier, we are also a global player by virtue of us having ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. So it's a big issue, and of course, those who will be in the field after us having retired, they will take the baton and we'll be watching them. So we are looking forward to grow this platform.
And I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing how this platform will continue to grow. Mr. Chabalala, thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live tonight, and thank you for sharing this wonderful platform for us. I think this is such an amazing and interesting conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you, and it's very inspiring to see that there are groups of people who are dedicated to amplifying young voices and giving them this wonderful platform to become active citizens and the future leaders of tomorrow. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure for you hosting me. Thank you very much. We are looking forward for future engagements.
Viewers at home, that was Mr. Shabalala talking to us about the biannual Africa Children's Summit that is taking place from the 4th to the 7th of April. And this platform aims to raise awareness when it comes to elevating and amplifying young voices, but more importantly, allowing our children to become active citizens and leaders within their own spaces and being able to voice their concerns and opinions about particular topics that directly affect them. And if you are a parent out there and you would like your child to have the wonderful opportunity to participate, please do reach out to them on their social media platforms or via the website. Mr. Shabalala did share that there is a link available for your child to register to participate online in the summit. I think this is a wonderful opportunity, and we must engage our young people and encourage them to engage on platforms like this. But on that note, it is time for us to head over to a quick ad break, and we'll come right back.